All right, Vu and Xintian from Reddit. Thank you so much for sitting down with me. Excited to talk to you guys a little more about your journey with Valkey. Let's start with a simple question. I heard that you guys did a Redis to Valkey migration. What was the motivation for that? Tell us a little bit about your journey.
Yeah, so I think Reddit is a company that really focus on on their engineers. So we want to make sure like our engineer can grow and be part of their active community and learn all of their expertise and also learn about the technology and be able to contribute back. So with the license change in 2024, I think that's really make us to rethink about whether we want to focus on Redis as a long-term technology for Reddit. And Valkey become a perfect candidate at the time because like Valkey is open source, it's backed by an active community, and most of the community member are really smart and really active. So I think on top of that, with all of the performance gain, improvement in memory utilization and performance, I think that's an easy choice. So it's like you don't have to trade off anything for that. So the only thing that you have to trade off is like to do the migration, which I think is the price that we are willing to pay, as long as it's like an investment in our long-term engineering expertise.
And how was the migration process for you?
So for the Redis to Valkey migration, we are working with all of our clients to make sure like the API is compatible between Redis and Valkey. Make sure we don't run into any surprise. So for that to happen, we invest a lot in building the infrastructure to perform validation, make sure there's no regression in both performance and capability. And once we are ready with that, we also like do like a white glove support for our client. Um, for for the first few clients, I think it's a little bit tough just because we are still getting familiar with the technology and all of the new tooling and infrastructure work. But as we start gaining experience, it's become much easier, and everyone can clearly see the impact of moving to Valkey by seeing the improvement in memory utilization, in performance. So it's an easy convince to the future client who wants to migrate to Valkey. The first few clients, they still have some hesitation, but I think for the future ones, they are more willing to move to Valkyrie.
Awesome. So Xintian, let's talk about some of the specific benefits and optimizations that you guys have done. I know that earlier you spoke of a Cuckoo filter. Yeah. So what is that, and what did that do for you guys?
So Cuckoo filter is a module. So basically, it's very similar to like a Bloom filter. It's like a data structure that can effectively like tell you if a key does not exist or it may exist. So it's very suitable, and it can improve performance. Like if the traffic is like, okay, it has a very, for example, very low cache hit rate, because it can filter out most of the cache misses and only leave those possible cache hits to the real backend data store. And we utilize the Google filter module, and we basically improve our architecture so that for certain clusters, we're able to serve those cache misses better and faster and reduce the traffic on the Redis cluster, and we can reduce costs over there.
So you don't need to run as big of a cluster
Yes.
comparatively. Awesome. Why not use a Bloom filter?
Well, because we found that Cuckoo filter module on Valkey, I think from what we read from the documents, it should work.
Oh,
And so we took it, benchmark it, it works well. So yeah.
awesome. Well, so continuing on the thread of migrations, Valkey 9 came out late last year. And I know you guys are very excited about Valkey 9, quickly moved to it. So can you speak a little bit about the motivation behind that?
Valkey 9 brings many very exciting and long-awaited features and improvements that we really want. So one of the top things I speak that in the presentation as well, which is hash level TTL, which allows us to set individual TTLs on each key value pairs of a Redis hash. Redis hash is essentially a dictionary style data structure in Redis. So that allow us to basically expiring unwanted features in ML feature use cases earlier than before, because in the past, all features under one user has to share one TTL. So have to keep the longer one, but now we can have them to have their exact TTL and time it out when it's time. So that makes a lot of difference. Like when our recent migrations, we saw like 43% memory reduction in one single migration. That's a big impact on like our business, and we're very happy about that. And also we have like a new dictionary from Valkey, which reduced the per key overhead as well.
Yes.
We have number database support in cluster mode, Redis. That has been, I think, Redis introduced cluster mode since like 10 years ago, but number database support has never been there. Now we have that in Valkey 9. And I can spend probably an entire hour talking about why Valkey 9 is it's good, but yeah.
Yeah, performance-wise, actually, on the memory point, at Memento, we also host a lot of Valkey customers, and on sorted sets, which for a lot of gaming customers are used for leaderboards, with the score. Yeah, we had like literally watching the memory capacity graph after the upgrade is like a big drop when we upgraded, which was super exciting. Awesome. So Vu, maybe you can close us off with what are you guys working on right now? What are you excited about in the next few months in the Valkey community in terms of features or other work on your plate?
So as I mentioned before, right, Redis is a engineering first company. We invest a lot in our engineers. So I think in the next few months, or at least in the next year, we want to invest in our team in a way that we become an expert in the Valkey code base itself, instead of just like a Valkey user. And for that to happen, we need to a lot of collaboration with the community to learn from the best, as well as to like maybe able to take some of the features that Valkey community is not able to close because you guys do not have enough bandwidth. And I think once that is done, we can kind of like be confident to contribute back to the community, and also figure out what is the gap that our business need, and what Valkey have, and try to close that gap proactively instead of just relying on the community without giving anything back. So I think that is kind of like one of the biggest investment and kind of like direction that we want to take this year with the whole infrastructure team in Red.
Yeah, definitely. I think I hear some of the same sentiments from, Uber and Apple, certain with AWS and Google. And their kind of stance is similar, is if there's something that they really want to see happen that benefits their business, they work in the open directly. They contribute it directly back to open source instead of, building something in-house and sort of keeping that proprietary. So definitely, super looking forward to more of you and your teammates showing up in the Valkey community and writing more code.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for sitting down with me.
Yeah. Thanks so much.
And